Hello everyone, I'm Travis and this is Let's Get Wanderlost. We're currently at Love Field in Dallas, Texas, and we're getting ready for our flight to Miami for our trip aboard Icon of the Seas. We are actually flying Southwest Airlines, and I booked this flight on Chase Travel using our credit card points. And kind of the weird thing is I couldn't find any trips to actual Miami, so we're flying into Fort Lauderdale, and then we're going to Uber from Fort Lauderdale Airport to our hotel on Miami Beach. Let's get this vacation started. Really excited to get to Miami and get going with Icon of the Seas. Alright, it looks like we made it to Miami. We are at the Hotel Ocean, which is right on Ocean Drive in Miami Beach. We actually have a hotel room that faces the beach. We have a great view of it through these windows over here. I guess it's an ocean view hotel room. I guess it's a cruise theme. But we're gonna go downstairs and we're actually gonna walk over to a restaurant that we've been wanting to try. We tried it in Rome last year, almost to the day. It's called Osteria de Fortunata. They actually opened one up here in Miami Beach, which is right down the road. And we're gonna walk over to there and try that restaurant and compare it to what we tried in Rome last year and see if it is any good. So that's what we're gonna do now. So we're walking back to the hotel after having Osteria de Fortunata. And so Nicole, what did you think about it?
The food was good. It was not as good as the restaurant in Rome, but overall it was still good. It was very expensive. Cost about $95 for 2 plates of pasta for lunch and a Coke. So yeah, definitely pricey.
Yeah, it's a lot more than what we spent in Rome. It was like $67 and we had appetizers, main courses, drinks and everything else on top of that. So the food was good. Tasted very similar to what it was in Rome, but just really, really expensive. So if you're thinking about doing Osteria de Fortunata, it's a good restaurant, but be prepared for 2 people, almost $100 for lunch is a lot of money. Probably would find something else on Miami Beach to eat, unless you really, really wanted to try it. And if you did, it might be cheaper to fly to Rome rather than eat here in Miami Beach. So Nicole, what did we get for dinner?
We got Publix subs.
I mean, because we're predictable, right? So, what did you get?
I got an ultimate, which is ham, turkey, and roast beef. What'd you get?
The same thing I always get, a chicken tender sub, which is the best that you can get from Publix. We're in Miami, and they got tons of nice little restaurants and stuff on Ocean Drive. Cuban sandwiches and all the like Cuban food and stuff you can eat. And what do we get? Publix subs. We are heading back to our hotel to get ready to go to dinner tonight. We actually have some plans to go to Hell's Kitchen. I know when you think about Miami, you think about Hell's Kitchen for dinner. If you haven't noticed, that's kind of a trend with us. We ate McDonald's in France, and now we're eating Hell's Kitchen in Miami. But overall, it's been a really good day, even though with the bad weather. 30-mile-per-hour winds has been really bad, as you can tell by Nicole's hair. But we just watched all the ships leave port over at South Point. we'll show that video here right now so you can actually see what it's like and plan your day in Miami around checking out the cruise ships leaving port, which is really, really cool. It is really raining outside, and we just got back to the hotel room after our dinner, our anniversary dinner at Hell's Kitchen, which is a Gordon Ramsay restaurant, if you didn't know that. It's over in downtown Miami, over by the water. For Hell's Kitchen, we had the lobster risotto, the scallops. I had the ribeye, and Nicole had
The Wellington.
the beef Wellington, of course. And for dessert, we had the sticky toffee pudding. So essentially, Nicole got the prix-fixe menu, and I ordered a la carte. Nicole, how does Hell's Kitchen in Miami compare to the one in Las Vegas?
Food was still delicious. Prices are definitely higher. We noticed that looks like the portions in Vegas have also changed since we were last there. So the portions have been reduced. The prices have gone up, but overall, if you are a Gordon Ramsay or a Hell's Kitchen fan, I would still recommend it. I would still probably go back.
Yeah, if you like Gordon Ramsay, you're gonna like Hell's Kitchen. The food is really good. It's a good atmosphere overall. It's definitely a touristy spot. If you want to try something local in Miami, you probably wouldn't go to Hell's Kitchen, obviously. But we really enjoyed it. Just as a side point, they do a 20% service charge. Just about every restaurant in Miami does a 20% service charge, so be mindful of that when you get the bill. It is a lot more expensive than the one in Las Vegas. My steak was good. The knife was kind of dull. The lobster risotto was excellent, and of course the sticky toffee pudding that Nicole ordered was incredible, as it always is at a Gordon Ramsay restaurant. So we would definitely go back, probably back to the one in Las Vegas. Overall, a good anniversary dinner. I enjoyed it a lot. It was just really expensive, of course, as everything is on this trip is. Okay, we just talked about Hell's Kitchen. We're going to talk about the rest of our time in Miami, at least the second day so far. We got up kind of late this morning, probably around almost 11 o'clock because we were really tired from flying in. And then instead of going to breakfast, we had some authentic Cuban sandwiches, which is what you do in Miami. It's not like going to McDonald's in France or Starbucks in France or Hell's Kitchen in Miami. You get Cuban sandwiches because that's what they're kind of known for. We went to a place called Cubaton, which is right down the road from Ocean Drive. And it was a small little hole in the wall right next to a few other restaurants, including Five Guys. And what did you think, Nicole? How was Cubaton?
I really liked it. I thought it was good. I got the classic Cuban, and then I got an iced Cuban coffee, which was delicious. So overall, I would rate it pretty good.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't normally like Cuban sandwiches. It's the whole hot pickle thing that I'm not usually into, and a lot of mustard. But I had the hot honey Cuban sandwich, and it was actually really, really good. I would order it again. I was even really full because we've been eating a lot. I was just peeling the pork out of the sandwich and just eating that on its own, and it was excellent. I had the lemonade, though, instead of having a typical Coca-Cola, and the lemonade was also really good. They said it's homemade. So we would go back to Cubaton. It was really good, especially if you're looking for an authentic Cuban sandwich in the Miami area. It's right up the road on Ocean Drive. From there, as we said earlier, we went all the way down to South Point Park and we watched the cruise ships leave, which is a really cool experience if you're looking for something to do, especially if you like cruising. Nicole, how did you like being right there on South Point and watching the cruise ships leave?
It was really cool to watch the ships go by. We got a really close-up look of Allure, which is one of Royal Caribbean ships that we haven't been on yet, so maybe one day.
Yeah, definitely. It's the only Oasis class we haven't done. The standing at the park looking up the cruise ships does makes you feel really small. Makes you feel really small. And you can actually see how gigantic those ships really are. You don't really get to feel that when you're actually on the ship. The weather could have been better. We kind of a trend with us lately is that we get awful weather on these vacations. It was about 80 degrees today, which you're thinking, yes, especially in October, but 25 to 33 mile an hour winds. And we definitely look like we've been in the wind all day. I don't think we could have even went on the beach if we wanted to. We would probably have blown down the entire beach and been sandblasted by all the sand. Not the best when it comes to the weather down here in Miami. Hopefully it gets better on the ship tomorrow, because you'd kind of want good weather on a cruise ship.
Also on the way to South Point at South Beach, where we watched the cruise ships leave, we made a pit stop at a little coffee shop called Cafe Beignet. Coffee was pretty good, but the pastry cream-filled beignets were excellent, so I would highly recommend those.
Yeah, our table looked like typical Miami with just white stuff all over it. Not cocaine though this time. It was powdered sugar, but it was everywhere. It was really good though. I enjoyed the beignets. We also walked there's an Art Deco museum, because this area of South Beach is the Art Deco District. And they have some really cool, like, little gift shop with a bunch of Art Deco and wall art and that sort of thing. There's a museum there. It cost about $7 to go into. We didn't do that this time, but probably next time. I really like Art Deco architecture and art. So we just got a little magnet for our refrigerator at home that says South Beach on it. It's really cool. It'll match the rest of the magnets that we have in our house. When we arrived in Miami, we talked about the hotel we're staying at, which is right here. It's the Hotel Ocean. We described it a little bit, and then we said if we would tell you if we would stay here again at the end of our stay, which is right now. We check out tomorrow morning. This hotel is located right on Ocean Drive. It's walkable to just about everything in the South Beach area. We walked all the way up to Lincoln Road. We went to a restaurant, a bunch of shops down there. We also walked all the way down to South Point, which is at the southern end of South Beach, to see the cruise ships. And we've walked just about everywhere in the middle here without needing an Uber. The only Uber that we really needed was to go over to Hell's Kitchen, which is in downtown Miami. Overall, how did we like this hotel, Nicole?
So overall, it is a great location. The view is really nice with the windows overlooking the ocean. The room is pretty comfortable. The bed was comfortable. There are a couple downsides to it being a much older hotel. It seems like when you really crank the AC on, the hardwood laminate floors tend to kind of have a lot of moisture on them. So it just kind of feels a little damp, which is not ideal. So I would say it's a great location. It's not a bad stay, but it hasn't been my favorite. So we would probably just try something else next time.
Yeah, there are a lot of hotels in this area, especially along Ocean Drive. A ton of them have the really pretty Art Deco architecture on the outside. Some of them are even historic hotels, like the Betsy Ross down the street. And I would probably want to stay in one of those the next time that we come to South Beach. Hotel Ocean isn't awful. It's got an 8 out of 10 on Booking.com. I'd probably give it around a 3 out of 5, maybe 2.5 to 3 out of 5 overall. The moisture on the floor is really hard to get over, because walking with your socks on or walking barefoot, your feet are wet. And it's just condensation because it's an older hotel, but it's not something that you really want when you're in a hotel. The bathroom situation, I hate it. It's not because I don't trust Nicole. It's just that you kind of want some privacy occasionally. And this door has a gap that you can see in, which I don't know about you. I don't want to see into the restroom when somebody else is in there. And the shower leaks water all over the floor. And you can tell that it was remodeled, but it's still not 100% because it is an older hotel. I had water everywhere after taking a shower. Hot water's hot, which is good. The hotel grounds are very limited. There's a nice little outdoor seating area, but it's also a hookah lounge at night. And then there's a restaurant up front that actually plays live music, including like with salsa and merengue dancing in front of it. Location's amazing. The price at $275 a night is a little high, and we would probably look for something else the next time that we're in Miami Beach. Again, it's not an awful hotel. It's just kind of average. Doesn't live up to the 8 out of 10 on Booking.com, in my opinion.
And this is why I don't pick things.
Yeah, Nicole picked the hotel. This is why I usually do the planning, I guess. It's not awful. She did a good job. Trust me, it's good. So we're going to wrap up this video, which has been our first 2 days in Miami. I know it kind of feels like a food tour with all the places that we ate at along the way.
It might have been.
Yeah. You can tell, but right here, it's a lot of food. The reason for that is almost everything that we want to do is outdoors and like hanging out on the beach and doing some of that stuff. It's been so windy that it's made it almost impossible to do that. Next time we come to Miami, hopefully we get better weather so we can actually do some of the things that we wanted to do, like the Art Deco tour, walking on the beach, hanging out in the water, all that good stuff. But overall, it's been a good time. We are getting on Icon of the Seas tomorrow morning. We're going to try and walk over to South Point at 2:30 in the morning. Hopefully that's a good idea in Miami, to see if we can see Icon coming into the port, because I just want to see it not being on the ship all lit up, and get some video of that. I know Nicole likes that stuff as well. But Icon of the Seas tomorrow, a ship that we've been waiting to go on for a long time, a cruise that we booked over 2 years ago when the itineraries first posted, and it's also our anniversary cruise, which is super special. Maybe. She doesn't like me, actually. But we'll see you tomorrow when we're getting on Icon of the Seas.
If you have any questions about our 2 days in Miami, any of the places that we ate, or the hotel that we stayed in, please leave them in the comment section down below.
And if you'd like to support our channel, please make sure you like this video and subscribe. It helps us out way more than you realize. And if you need us, we'll be up in the Windjammer tomorrow on Icon of the Seas. I'm Travis.
And I'm Nicole.
Thanks so much for watching.